Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today is your City Administrator Chad Breckin. Chad, welcome back to the show. How are you doing, sir?
I am good, Jeremy. How are you doing today?
Doing wonderful. Glad to have you back on the show. We're in the warm period here in the city and across southern Wisconsin. But we're going to warm you up with some great information that's happening around the city. Okay, I tried. We're going to start with CIP. That's the hot button topic right now. And that's a hot button, but it's part of our budget process. And the mayor has put out the proposed CIP plan. So first, Chad, for people who aren't familiar with the capital improvement plan, what's that all about?
Yeah, so our capital improvement plan is a 10-year planning document that identifies large purchases and projects that the city and its departments plan to embark on over that 10-year period. The type of projects would include roadway projects like, our upcoming resurfacing of Scion Road or reconstruction of Scion Road and Lacey Road, other roadways that are planned over that time period, equipment purchases like fire trucks, police cars, snow plows, those sorts of things. So really, we're talking about large dollar amounts, large significant projects and equipment purchases that would typically come out of the capital improvement plan. And when we talk about a 10-year plan, we really focus our efforts on the first 5 years of that plan. Those are the projects that staff tends to actively be working on and looking to bring to full implementation during that 5-year period based upon when it's identified in the plan and the funding being available and all the requisite approvals that come from City Council. And years 6 through 10 are more placeholder years where we know that, okay, we have these projects sitting here in that time frame, that 6 to 10-year horizon. So we have a little bit longer picture of all the projects and equipment purchases that will be necessary over that 10-year period, and can kind of keep all of that in mind as we look to identify how much money is available to be spent and when it should be spent and those sorts of things.
So public involvement moving forward, and that's what this is all about. So it's out there now for your viewing pleasure, happening tonight. And I'll say this since this replays sometimes, June 15th, 2022. The departments will actually present some of the key things in the CIP coming up. So it's a really good chance for you to kind of learn a little bit more about the plan and what each department is proposing. But then moving forward, what participation will residents have in our plans?
Yeah, so just to kind of piggyback on what you just added there, Jeremy, the mayor's proposed CIP plan was released late last week. It is on our city's website for folks to review. And as you mentioned tonight, department heads will be summarizing their requests as they were placed in the mayor's proposed budget. And folks can use Fact TV to tune in to watch those presentations if they prefer not to come in person, but they're certainly welcome to come in person, and they can certainly watch live or on demand. And ultimately, alders will put together amendments to the CIP if they would like. Those I'm not, I have to look here to see exactly when those are due. Looks like they are due July 5th to the city. And there are a couple of opportunities for public participation. There will be public hearings on the CIP at the council meeting on June 28th at 7:30 p.m. And then also again on July 26th at 7:30 p.m. Ultimately, we would look for adoption of the CIP by the City Council at that meeting on July 26th. So, of course, people can also talk with their alders as regards to their desires and what they'd like to see or any feedback they have in the CIP as well.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. The more years I've been on here, you learn a little bit more about this each and every year. But it's a lot of information that's collected all year long. So it is a process, and we hit a point where we got to make that decision. It's kind of cool how it all comes together. These are plans that are happening all the time. The feedback from the residents, the feedback from the mayor. It's all accumulative stuff here that rolls into CIP, and then that rolls in to the budget, which, if it's not CIP, it's budget time, Chad.
Yeah, the next budget we'll look to implement is the 2023 operating budget. And as you mentioned, it seems between capital improvement plan budgeting and operating budget, it's a constant budget season around here. It's just kind of takes a full 12 months. We really don't get a whole lot of time off to begin planning for next year's budget and obviously implementing the budgets that have been approved and monitoring the spending on those budgets. So it's a regular occurrence here to be doing something with budget, and operating will be next. And those are, things that go into operating budget are the cost of personnel, which makes up about 70% of the city's budget, and then other day-to-day operational expenses and smaller projects and initiatives. Those are largely what comprises the operating budget. So that's really what keeps us running, so to speak.
It really does. And like you said, all of that will unfold here in the next couple of months. We'll have full coverage for you here on Fact TV. And of course, we'll have Chad back to talk about the plans as we move forward. And the mayor as well. We'll have his thoughts in comments on his proposed CIP and budget. Turning our attention to the town of Madison, we continue our communications with the attachment coming up on October 31st. I've had the pleasure of being out at several events, got to meet lots of great people so far. But Chad, as we continue to roll through the summer, we want to know what's next.
Well, we're going to continue our outreach activities. Jeremy, you've been an integral part, as well as Lisa Sanford here at the city, involved in our outreach efforts. And we participated in a couple events recently that have been in conjunction with the city of Madison. And we also have some Fitchburg specific events in Southdale neighborhood coming up throughout the summer. The first event in the park is going to be June 23rd, I believe, from 4:30 to 6:30, if my recollection is any good. And I think there's going to be a banner that's going to go up in Southdale Park or the Southdale neighborhood that identifies all of the dates during the summer months here, in which we'll be doing some activities via our outreach in Southdale neighborhood. And then we also have our outreach librarian is also spending some time in the Southdale neighborhood, as well as other neighborhoods throughout the city of Fitchburg this summer. So definitely quite a few opportunities for engagement with city staff through these events. And of course, you can always contact, or anyone that has questions can always contact us here at the city. Ask for me or anyone really if you have questions specific to the town of Madison. And we also have an FAQ section on our city website in regards to the town attachment. But we're down to about 4.5 months before that attachment takes place on October 31st. And it'll be here pretty quick.
You are right about that, Chad. It is cruising right along. I do want to mention too that materials were delivered out to homeowners in the condos, condo owners in the last week and a half. So yes, we've been out there and we're looking forward to meeting everybody. And as you had mentioned, people can still reach out with any questions they have. This is an ongoing process, and we look forward to meeting everybody and answer questions. I think that's the biggest thing here is we know you have questions and we want to answer those.
Absolutely.
All right, Chad, thank you for your time. I appreciate it as always. We'll check back with you next month.
Sounds good. Take care, Jeremy.
Thank you. You as well. And we'll check in with Chad next month, and we'll keep him busy all summer long. And as he's trying to beat the heat here during the summer, we'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.